Hey there, this is Dr. Jim. Thanks for stopping by. I have an interesting topic to share with you this week. It's ethics in healthcare. And I know that it's mandatory. I've been talking about ethics in healthcare, senior care, dementia care, mental health, working with the LGBT community. There are so many ethical dilemmas and problems. And it's funny to me that a lot of healthcare professionals still think just because ethics is mandatory that it's going to be boring, but it is not boring whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most important topics I think we should talk about because it's our behavior, it's our professionalism, how we act and speak and do all of these things while we're at work. So let's stop and talk about what ethics is. Okay, ethics provide us guidelines, codes of conduct, things like that, which help us to make better decisions in healthcare. They guide us to make good decisions. Ethics involves right and wrong, which sometimes is not that easy to determine. Good or bad, what is in the best interest of the patient or the person that we're caring for. And sometimes, believe me, I know it's very difficult to determine what is in the best interest of this human being that we might not know that much about. So ethics to me is fascinating because it poses so many questions that are just very difficult to answer. And I think that's why it's mandatory every year. Because who defines what is right or wrong? I know we have codes of conduct and codes of ethics as nurses and social workers and physicians and so on and so forth. But do our values, our principles, and our morals clash or support those guidelines? And do these things change over time? Because I might argue that they do. So, how many things can possibly go wrong in healthcare? Let's stop and think about that for a long time. A lot of things can go wrong, you know that. So, why must we address ethics every year? Society and culture are changing. And I argue not at a rapid pace anymore, but a hyper-accelerated pace. It benefits us to have a framework in which to view problems, dilemmas, and challenges in our fields so that we might make intelligent and compassionate decisions regarding human life. You and I are living, breathing agents of ethics. We are to think and behave in very specific ways. We advocate for outstanding care and treatment. You and I are to be fair. We are not to discriminate based on any personal or social characteristic whatsoever. These are some of the reasons we need to remind ourselves of our own codes of standards in our fields. There are principles. The word principle means fair and right conduct, as well as a fundamental truth or a doctrine. This is a powerful thing. Principles should lead us. Our principles should be aligned with our values. We should be true to them. There are many principles to talk about, including the principle of autonomy, beneficence, and a big one, a very big one, truth-telling. In closing, I wish I could go on and on about this one, but I just can't. There's so much more information, as you know, to learn in the field of ethics. I wrote an article entitled Ethics in Healthcare. I encourage you to click the link below, go to drjimcollins.com, my blog, and read it. You're going to find a lot more information about ethics there. And if you are a healthcare professional, a licensed healthcare professional, and you need or are just interested in CEUs in ethics, go ahead and follow that link below, and it will take you to a lot of ethics CEUs. So thank you for spending time with me. I'm Dr. Jim. Let your ethics in healthcare be your compass to doing what is good and right for those you serve.